The Masquerade's Shadow. In the grand halls of Frankfort Castle, candles flickered, casting long shadows across the polished marble floors. The air hummed with excitement as nobles from across the land gathered for the most anticipated event of the year, the King's Masquerade Ball. Amidst the swirling gowns and glittering masks, one figure stood apart, clad entirely in black. From his sweeping cloak to his mysterious mask, he moved with a grace that caught the eye of every courtier. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Who was this enigmatic stranger? As the orchestra struck up a lively waltz, the black-clad figure approached the Queen. With a deep bow, he extended his hand, inviting her to dance. Intrigued, she accepted, and soon they were gliding across the ballroom floor. "Your grace is unmatched, my lady," the stranger murmured, his voice low and melodious. "But I sense a sense of sadness behind your smile. What troubles you on this night of celebration?" The Queen, surprised by his perceptiveness, found herself confiding in this mysterious man. "The burden of the crown weighs heavily," she admitted. "Sometimes I long for the simplicity of my youth." As they danced, the stranger regaled her with tales of far-off lands and grand adventures. For the first time in years, the Queen felt truly alive, a laughter ringing out across the ballroom. But as midnight approached, the atmosphere shifted. The time had come for all masks to be removed, revealing the faces underneath. One by one, the revellers unveiled themselves, dukes, duchesses, foreign dignitaries. Yet the man in black remained masked. "Come, sir," the King called out, his curiosity piqued. "Show us the face of the man who has so captivated my wife this evening." A hush fell over the crowd as the stranger slowly reached for his mask. But before he could remove it, two guards burst into the ballroom, their faces pale with shock. "Your Majesty," one gasped, pointing at the black-clad figure. "That man! He is the executioner of Bergen." Chaos erupted. Ladies swooned. Lords drew their swords and the King's face contorted with rage. "Seize him!" the King roared. "How dare this knave, this common executioner, presume to dance with nobility?" As guards rushed forward, the knave knew he faced certain death. But in that moment of desperation, a lifetime of watching nobles and knights stirred something within him. He straightened his back, raised his chin, and spoke with a confidence he didn't know he possessed. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice ringing clear through the hall, "I have indeed committed a grave offence. But I ask you, is it not the duty of a ruler to see the worth in all his subjects?" The King's brow furrowed, intrigued despite his anger. The knave pressed on, his mind racing. "I may be but a knave, but tonight I have shown you that even the lowliest among us can rise to greatness, if given the chance. Is that not the very essence of your kingdom?" A murmur ran through the crowd. Some nodded in agreement, while others scoffed. The King stroked his beard, considering the knave's words. "You speak well for a common executioner," he said, "but pretty words do not erase your crime." The knave took a deep breath, knowing his next words could mean life or death. "Then let me prove my worth, your Majesty." "Draw your sword, sire," the executioner said. "Knight me, and I will challenge any man who dares speak ill of you or the Queen. My blade will defend your honour until my dying breath." The hall erupted in shocked whispers. The King's eyes widened, then narrowed in thought. For a long moment, the fate of the Knave of Bergen hung in the balance. The King's brow furrowed as he considered this audacious proposal. After a long moment, he spoke. "You're indeed a knave," he said, his voice stern, "but your words show both courage and wisdom. Very well." With a swift motion, the King drew his sword and tapped it upon the executioner's shoulders. "Rise, Sir Knave of Bergen. May your future actions redeem your past transgressions." As the newly knighted man stood, cheers erupted from the crowd. The Queen, her eyes shining, stepped forward to dance once more with the Knave of Bergen. But this tale does not end here, dear viewers, for in the shadows of the ballroom a pair of eyes watched the scene unfold with growing hatred. Count Wilhelm von Eisenhardt, who had long sought the Queen's hand before her marriage, saw in this strange turn of events an opportunity for revenge. In the weeks that followed, the Knave of Bergen became a fixture at court, his wit and charm winning over even the harshest critics. But Count Wilhelm, he worked tirelessly behind the scenes, spreading rumours and sowing seeds of doubt. How can we trust a man whose very profession is death? He would whisper to anyone who would listen. Surely this is all an elaborate ruse to get close to the royal family. The Knave, aware of the growing suspicion, redoubled his efforts to prove his loyalty. He threw himself into his new role, training tirelessly with the Royal Guard and offering sage advice in matters of state. Fate, though, ever fickle it seemed, had other plans. On a stormy night, as lightning illuminated the castle grounds, a shadowy figure was seen scaling the walls of the Queen's Tower. Guards raised the alarm, and the Knave of Bergen was the first to respond. Sword in hand, he burst into the Queen's chambers, only to find her gone and the window wide open. Without hesitation, he leapt out into the rain-lashed night, giving chase to the kidnapper. Through the muddy streets, some might even say sewers of Frankfurt, they ran, the Knave's black cloak billowing behind him like wings. Finally, in a decrepit warehouse by the river, he cornered the kidnapper. "Show yourself, coward," the Knave bellowed, his sword glinting in the dim light. Slowly the kidnapper turned, lowering his hood to reveal Count Wilhelm von Eisenhardt. "You!" the Knave gasped. "Why?" Wilhelm's face twisted into a sneer. "Why? Because she should have been mine, and now, thanks to you, I'll never have her. But neither will the king," with a maniacal laugh. Wilhelm raised a vial of dark liquid. "One drop of this in the king's wine and the throne would have been mine. But now it will be her doom." He hurled the vial at the wall, where it shattered, releasing a noxious cloud. The Knave, realising the danger, advanced on the Count, dispatching him with executioner swiftness. However, a lantern was knocked over in the struggle. Sir Knave gathered up the unconscious Queen and quickly fled the warehouse, avoiding the encroaching cloud of noxious death spreading from the broken vial. Flames erupted from within, consuming the evidence of Wilhelm's treachery. As dawn broke over Frankfurt, the Knave of Bergen carried the Queen back to the castle. The king, overcome with relief and gratitude, embraced them both. "You have proven yourself a true knight," he declared. "From this day forward, you shall be known not as the Knave, but as the guardian of Bergen, protector of the realm." And so, this ends our tale of the Knave of Bergen, a story of redemption, of loyalty, forged in the face of adversity, and of the transformative power of trust. For in giving a man the chance to rewrite his story, the king gained not just a knight, but a legend that would be told for generations to come. Remember, in life, as in masquerades, it is not the mask we wear, but the actions we take that define us. Till next time, may your own stories be filled with adventure, redemption, and the courage to become more than what others see.